kids. There we are again. Here's your own Grandpa coming from a very enlightened place right now here in the mountains above Crestone, Colorado. And there's shadows passing before me too, baby. Whew. Now we're getting towards sundown. So the sun comes streaking through my door there, you know, 'cause it's a glass door. And I like it that way, you know. Somebody else out there mucking around with firewood, so we let them do that while we're doing this. And hello, everyone. And how the heck are you in this third day of 2014? All freaking ready. Can you imagine? Man. Here's to you guys. Now, we're sitting here thinking today about looking at the sun. It's bright, more intense than it's ever been. We can feel it through all the chemtrails they want to scatter. Man, it feels great. Boy, does it. Because there's magic. Always. Of course, it's the sun. What helps things grow? Without the sun, there'd be no life. You gotta have the light, you know. You gotta have the earth. Gotta have the organic. Gotta have the light. That kind of means something, doesn't it? Well, we're going into this 2014 with a lot of different things on our mind. The sun just being one of them. There are anomalies in the sun and around the sun. People are posting up to YouTube all the time. See pictures of it all over the internet. Even NASA screws up once in a while on their satellites, takes a really good picture of a UFO sitting by the sun or something. Now, it makes you wonder, with all this activity around the sun. And then they say it flipped its polarity. It's still there to me. And look at that. It's still just as shiny, bright, and beautiful as it ever wanted to be. This is the mother's sun. It's special. And there's two of them. Though you can only see one right now. We have to kind of wonder about that. Because if there's two, why do I only see one? Well, maybe, now just maybe, there's something behind the sun. It's kind of on a trajectory that makes it like, you know, here's the sun here, there's something else here, and you just can't quite see it from here up here looking down. You only can see it the sun, see? So maybe there's something on the other side of it. They got all these cameras now out in space watching everything. You'd think if there was something on the other side of the sun, maybe NASA would be talking about it, because they're going to see it with their fancy-ass telescopes and stuff. They haven't seen it. Nobody's seen it yet. What's behind the sun is the same thing that's behind your heart right now inside yourself. It'll be shining brightly one of these old days and warm that old heart of yours up like it's never been warmed up before. That's one of my predictions in 2014. A whole bunch of hearts get warmed up this year. Right away, too, I'd say. Man alive, isn't that an interesting effect when the shadow passes over you in the end? Feels like darkness becoming the light. So, you're going to see some dark days ahead. Not necessarily bad dark days, but trying days. You're going to see those things coming, man. They're going to be there. But they're going to be a lot easier than they ever were before, because now what we're doing is seeing through it. Seeing the darkness for what it is. Another stage, another step in consciousness, another level for the entirety of humanity. Because as the revelations of darkness come, the butterfly within us emerges. We don't see things from the ground up anymore. We see On the bird's eye view, kind of fluttering around out there like little babies. So your perspectives will be changing. A lot of it has to do with the energy coming through the sun. That invisible energy that nobody can block out. That's, literally raising our awareness, our consciousness, our capability to be with one another. And soon, we're going to see the barriers coming down. We already do see it happening, but more so. There won't be folks hating other folks the way they do right now. We're going to move into an age of peace. Well, we got to do some preparing, which means we got to do a whole lot better job of getting along in. You see, it's time for the nations and tribes of this earth to recognize one another for who they are under this sun and the twin suns that you don't see. You're going to be figuring this out pretty soon because it's going to become all too apparent to you. In the meantime, there's some vibes coming in now, tribe. It's going to make it so we're finally getting to a place where we can deal with our own darkness and let it be done with in that way for once and forever. It's because, you see, the sun didn't just flip polarity, it's beginning to neutralize polarity. Gonna be doing the same thing here for too awful long, because there's no need. When we're drawn to extremes, when we're pulled apart, we feel pulled apart. And the light goes just way too far, the dark goes way too far. That's been our experience here in the extremes, man. You know, it's been one trying and difficult son of a bitch too. And don't let anybody tell you it's a cakewalk. It is not. There's not a single life here that isn't trying. I don't care how pampered you are or how difficult your conditions are, either way. You know, sometimes it's better, you're better off living on the lower end of this economic scale than you are on the upper end. There's a whole lot less being asked of you. You can get away with a whole lot more, and you can live a pretty good life in this here country. I don't know how it is around the rest of the world. You know, I know money's a big factor everywhere, but some places it's easier to do without than others. You know, and this is one of them. If you get yourself off into isolated areas and learn how to live off the land a little bit and trade with your neighbors and so forth, this is not a bad thing. This is kind of stuff that's starting to catch on here in Crestone, Colorado, where I live. You know, but these are city folks mostly that we're dealing with here that are trying to start a new life for themselves. So it takes a little adjusting, a little more for them because they've lived in a world that's totally economic. You know, this is all and political. This is all they know. But we're helping them see the light little by little by little by little. Same as the sun is helping all of us see this. It comes in stages and steps. Yeah, there's huge leaps. We've made a few of them already, and there's a few more to go. Some pretty big ones this year, baby. And while we're at it, speaking about combining the light and the dark, this year there's a rainbow gathering out here in the western United States somewhere. Probably going to be somewhere in Utah or Nevada. They never announced the exact location until a couple of weeks before the event. It's July 1 through 7th. It's always the first week in July. But of course, they assemble there earlier than that, and it goes on for a little after that, too. It's just the nature of that gathering. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Rainbow family, these are the tribe out of all nations. They gather every year to continue the hippie traditions of peace, love, you know, marijuana, that kind of thing. And what I'm asking is for all of us so-called spiritual heavy hitters to wind up going there. And all of our friends, too. And all of their friends. You know, the Coyote clan wants to be a presence there this year. And share the energy of awakening from that tiny little place, wherever it may be here in the West, with the rest of this earth. Just putting these few hearts together in a single place like that, in a place that's so filled with love already. We surround ourselves with the most loving hearts this earth has ever produced. That's who the Rainbow family is. I hope you guys know that. I know you've had a lot of difficulties in these past few years, but babies, this one is going to be the right. It's going to be smooth. I don't care if you have it in Utah, that backwards conservative place that I come from. I don't care if you have it there. It's going to be good. It's going to be the best there ever was. It's going to be peaceful. And the people that come to this gathering are going to be of a whole different caliber than what's been there before. We're raising the consciousness between now and then to that level anyway. So don't worry about your gathering being invaded by law enforcement or anybody else. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen any year after this. We're free. And we're just now taking care of the mechanical engineering in spiritual terms that's going to make that a practical reality here in 3D, let alone the rest of the so-called dimensions. Dimensions do not really exist. It's the way humans have of defining different levels that they see as they experience life. It's a human structure coming from an unconscious place. What else could there be? In reality, the levels all merge into one. You will live them all at the same time. Perhaps we'll even experience a little of that out there this summer at that Rainbow gathering. So I want to encourage all of you to be there. You know, anybody that can, if there's some way to get there, do that. A few of us are gathering, getting a little bus together, and a few of us are going to take a little trip on that from Denver and Salt Lake. We'll have room for a few. If you want to PM me, you know, we'll see what we can do, but get there. It's going to be good, and it's time, babies. By July, we'll be amped up enough that nothing in this universe will stand in our way. Becoming completely conscious as rapidly as we can be. And that means raising through all of these levels that we've perceived until we are in that one space where it's one experience on all levels, all stages, all dimensions, all universes, if you will, in all that parallel terminology. You'd be amazed when you start to see how it truthfully is. The incredible simplicity in the most complex of things. Complexity comes from darker places, from not seeing, not being able to understand, and therefore compensating for what you seem to lack. And as you become more conscious, as you see, then you more naturally follow the inner knowing, the guidance of your own heart, your own true heart, which is connected with your soul, which is your spirit, which is your presence, your true presence in the universe, what some people call our higher self. It lives right here inside you. And consciousness is simply becoming aware of that higher self and its activities within us and all about us. It's really a piece of cake. But people fear it, so it's going to take a bit of time, babies. We're ready. We're equipped. We've gone through everything we needed to prepare us for these stages. Now, the sun settles slowly in the west. I declare it. The people of this earth are free. Free from tyranny, injustice, poverty, all of the grieving things that cause us so much harm, that cause us such great trials. Think about that. Do you really need to be subject to any rule? Aren't you basically a decent human being, and aren't most people that you know basically decent human beings just living very confused lives? As we combine light and dark inside, a more reasonable stance returns and allows this freedom to be real. Understand, the only real freedom is to follow this heart, to know this heart intimately, and let it guide you to all of the impractical areas of life, as well as the more practical ones. You'll learn it's a feeling. There's words attached to it quite often, but it's a feeling. It's a movement. It's a consciousness. It's an awareness. It's a place of being inside that's indescribable. It's a feeling that's indescribable. You simply know. You simply look. You simply see. You simply are. And that's the way it is. Very simple. Ladies, I love you. Let's gather this summer. And if you can't make it to the rainbow gathering, well, after that, come on over here to Crestone. Let's party down here for a while, too. And when I say party down, you understand. It's about celebrating the joyous aspects of life. It's not about drunken debauchery, ladies, or just getting high. Oh, man, you guys have been so conditioned about that stuff. You don't know spiritual gifts when you see them. But they'll become all that much more apparent to you as you watch people around you rise up. And you'll no longer refuse the gifts that are given you, no matter what form they come in. It takes this kind of work. You've got to challenge your more conventional attitudes. Remember, the hippies were right. And so are you, right now. Babies, I love you. I'll talk to you again next time. Stay tuned.